Hey there, guys. I'm back, and yes, I sound wonderful, but I didn't want that to stop me from doing this campaign diary for session 15, the epilogue. This is really our epilogue of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So the heroes have invaded, have not invaded, but have found their way to the Vault of Dragons. They've tangled with black puddings and creatures and persuaded a golden dragon to allow them to return the embezzled 500,000 gold pieces to the city of Waterdeep. So we did a little bit of a time skip. Um, During the time that had gone away, Quick, our tiefling sorcerer cleric, went and had these brooches made. She went and designed this symbol that kind of had pieces of iconography important to each of the party members, and it's created just a little brooch to wear. And so she gave that to the characters, and we got to Founders Day, and Founders Day was a pretty chill. It's this big celebration in Waterdeep. It's almost kind of, I equated it kind of to like New Year's Eve. It's very much about rebirth, about the founding of Waterdeep, but also about celebrating new things to come. And so, what better way to celebrate the return of 500,000 gold to the city than during Founders Day? So, the characters went throughout the city of Waterdeep during the day and participated in a number of carnival games and activities throughout the city. In Trollskull Alley, where they are located, they participated in a potion brewing game that the resident herbalist Fala Lefalier, who runs Coron's Crown, was doing. And Harvey Birdman Whoosh, our Aarakocra rogue, failed at making his potion, and it just turned into this black, bubbling, disgusting mess. Quick and Rainier Neverember and Bryn, however, they succeeded and created this beautiful rainbow-colored, sparkling, like lavender scented potion. Fala suggested that Harvey take some of her classes or their classes. I apologize. That they're going to be running, and so possibly we could see about maybe, depending on the amount of downtime activities that Harvey wants to do, he could possibly maybe become proficient in medicine or maybe an herbalism kit. We'll see how that goes along. After that, they went and played a game called Trebuchet outside of the Bookworm's Treasure, which is a kind of magic shop in this district. It's basically a simple game, I should say. There is a literal trebuchet. One character sits in the bucket, and the other one kind of aims them and pulls and shoots the person onto this landing pad of mattresses. So Rainier Neverember takes the Aarakocra Harvey because they have kind of a budding relationship, and they play that game. Harvey lands. They do it again with Rainier in the bucket, and Harvey shoots Rainier through the window of the Bookworm's Treasure because he's a dick. That bird's a dick. Which is kind of funny because he has kind of a rivalry with Rashal, the page turner, the Dragonborn who owns that shop, and with Rainier, so it's kind of getting back at both of them. And then some more games. There was a like I said, I'm dying. There was a little arm wrestling contest with Hyustis, who is this a gender fluid dwarven captain of the City Watch, who's been just destroying the competition. Sundry, our paladin, went up against them and lost very quickly. I was actually surprised because Sundry has the most strength, is the strongest character in the group, but he was just rolling badly, so Hyustis just got that down. And then Hyustis suggested, "Hey, Quick, why don't you come take a spot? The sorcerer cleric." And Quick actually won. It was this is probably the most intense part of the entire session, was this arm wrestling battle between Hyustis and Quick, because there was like flirting going back and forth, and Quick was just getting angrier and angrier, and finally just knocked down Hyustis. It was a really cool moment. It was really fun to just roleplay that and roleplay this intense arm wrestling contest. After that, they headed to the dock ward and played a sleight of hand The classic 3 cups. There's a coin under the cup. Toss it around game with this gnome fish seller who's kind of this crazy-eyed, toothless man named Grin. Harvey plays that game. He wins. They run into Maceris and the Monster Children, this gang who operate in the Dock Ward. They're more of like they're a noble gang. I'd say they're very noble. They protect the type of monster races who normally don't get the best representation in the city. And they run into them, and Maceris pulls Harvey aside and says, "Hey, we need to have a talk." Because Harvey in a previous session had pissed off Vasir, who was a changeling assassin who was Maceris's kind of right-hand man. And Maceris decided to side with Harvey and the party. And so, from Maceris' point of view, I believe he's gonna have a conversation with Harvey later about how Harvey can repay this debt to him. And I'll talk about that in a little bit later, what I think might be going on with that situation. Jeff, the goblin rogue who has kind of a romance brewing with Harvey Birdman Whoosh, decided to join the party for the rest of the day. They ended the day doing a griffin ride. So in Waterdeep there's a griffin cavalry, and so they all paid a little bit of gold and they got to ride griffins on a little tour around the city. Harvey, being an Aarakocra, decided to fly next to them, tried to do some tricks, rolled really badly, and slammed into one of the dormant statues, these giant walking statues that are in Waterdeep. He slams into one of those, and hilarity ensues. But they end the day with a parade. The Sea Maidens Fair, Jarlaxle, and the Brigand Art run this giant parade that is also transporting the gold, the 500,000 gold pieces. It's this big show to show the city, like, hey, the gold is returning. And so the parade ends in the Castle Ward in front of the Palace of Waterdeep, where Laurel Silverhand, the Open Lord of Waterdeep, gives his speech about how the gold has been returned, about how they Rhaenyra Neverember, the son of the man who stole this gold in the first place, has helped the city and has kind of redeemed himself. How Jarlaxle and these drow pirates have helped the city, and how Luskan, interesting point of order, Luskan is going to be joining the Lord's Alliance, which will be very interesting for the politics in the future, because Luskan is this pirate state that Jarlaxle runs, and he's in the Lord's Alliance now, which is going to give Luskan a lot of resources that they did not have previously. And so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. And immediately, like, when Laurel announced that, the crowd just kind of gasps and shudders of just like, wait, Luskan is joining the Lord's Alliance? Like, why is this happening? So that'll be very interesting to see, because that is really a direct influence of the party. Of the party's actions of they basically siding with Jarlaxle, they got Luskan into the Lord's Alliance. They gave them a lot of political cachet and a lot of political power. So it'll be interesting to see how that evolves. And she finally gives medals to each member of the party as they finally decided on a name. They finally decided on an adventuring name. They're going to be called the Troll Skull Club, kind of a riff off of the Breakfast Club, and also they really feel attached to Troll Skull Alley in Waterdeep, to the North Ward. They're very much like Troll Skull homers. They're very much people who love and celebrate that area, and so them being named after it, I think is a very good idea, because it's where they met, and it's where everything kind of unraveled for them, and how things have grown is because of that area. So it's great for them to be showing, giving thanks to the people who brought you to the dance. And then the end of the night was just this big party at the Troll Skull Tavern that the party members run and operate. Everyone from the North Ward, I explained that all the NPCs, everyone you've met, really, is here, and they're having a good time, they're celebrating. And we also had the introduction to Squall, who is an Air Genasi bard of Glamour, the College of Glamour. I had created this character because the party members, Neverember had mentioned to the party members that they needed some sort of entertainment in the tavern. There's not really anything going on, and so I wanted to create a bard, a new NPC to kind of hang around the tavern, who could also bring who could also bring a different flavor to the group. And so I created this Air Genasi, who is related to Imbric and Avi, the fire and water Genasi couple that runs the blacksmith shop. He's a cousin to Imbric, and so he already has that in. And he comes to the tavern. He instantly kind of gets into a flirtatious relationship with Rainier Neverember and sings a little bit of a song. And I also wanted to showcase his abilities because I told the party members, I was like, you all also have 8 temporary hit points right now, because that is part of the College of Glamour that this bard has graduated from. He learned bard school or whatever in the Feywild. So he has this ability to make this performance with his bardic inspiration to gain temporary hit points. So I also wanted to show the party, like, hey, you have a new resource now. You have this bard who's going to be working at your tavern that you can utilize. He has spells, he has his own abilities, so hopefully they'll keep that in mind for things they maybe want or need to do. And yeah, the night ended with all of the characters, with kind of a cinematic. So the night ends, they all kind of celebrate, they take shots, basically celebrating their success. And then we pan out and we see what all the different characters are doing. We see the monster children, Maceris, Jeff, and Bobkin, who are playing cards. We see Jarlax, who's kind of looking out at the ocean, kind of just grinning. We see Laurel Silverhand, who begins to scry on the Castellanters, and we see what befalls them. Because the party members had made a deal with a proxy of Asmodeus that in return for Lord and Lady Castellanter's souls and all of their fortune, and then also the delivery of 100 souls by the hand of Harvey Woosh, it would that all of that together would negate the Castellanter's previous contract they had with them. So that night, City Watch guards take the twin children of the Castellanters out of the home, and Lord and Lady Castellanter are dragged to the Nine Hells, and all of their material belongings and their house and all of their wealth vanishes from the material plane. And so I wanted to end the session on that note because I wanted the characters to know, hey, this is a literal consequence of your deal with the devil. Like I wanted them to know that you made this deal and this happened and there are consequences to that. I mean, these twin children were taken from their homes and their lives, and now they're I don't know. Are they going to go into some sort of system? Is Laurel Silverhand going to take care of them herself? Who knows? And I also tried to show that Silverhand might be thinking that she thought she acted a little hastily. She might be rethinking her decisions because she is the highest, political form in this state, in this city, and she basically hung out with a couple of adventurers and made a deal with the devil against a powerful noble family in the city. And so it'll be interesting to see how the politics of Waterdeep change after this, after, word gets out that what the hell happened to the Castellanters? That's going to be a big question in the city because nobody really knows except for the party and Laurel Silverhand of what happened to the Castellanters. It's just one day they're there, next day they're gone, their house is gone, all their material possessions are gone, all of their wealth is just gone, taken to the Nine Hells. So that'll be a big question during as this campaign continues of what happened to the Castellanters and how that makes the other powerful entities in Waterdeep feel, especially the hundreds of noble houses in this city. Because even if you're a noble who doesn't love the Castellanters, you still understand that there's a way that things go and a respect, and there's power in old money. And so to see that just thrown to the side is gonna make some people feel feel a little interesting. I felt like this session went really well. It went just about as well as it could have. I knew that I was going to be a chill session. I knew that I was going to end kind of a hard note. But I wanted them to be able to relax and be able to have a good time and just hang out with all of these NPCs and all of these characters they've gotten to meet. So I told them, hey, there are a bunch of different events in different wards of the city. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And they basically just went from one thing to the next, and we role played and acted out, and it was a lot of fun. And I got to seed a couple of things. Vincent Trench, the Rakshasa detective in Troll Skull Alley, is going to be going away from the city. He's going to be going to an unspecified location because me and Lauren, who plays Quick, haven't quite decided where her character's from. But he is going to go onto an investigation to try to discern what happened to Quick's family. Quick had a wife and 2 children, and my cat. Quick had a wife and 2 children that she believed were dead. She knows they've disappeared. She's been searching for them, hasn't seen sign or anything of them. The only clue that she has is that she left to go assist a local farm with some sort of situation. She came back, her house was on fire, and there were Duergar who were there. And that's the extent of what she knows, is that Duergar were somehow involved in the disappearance of her family. So she's hired Vincent Trench to go and try to see if he can discern anything, being private investigator in a Rakshasa, seeing if he can discern anything. So that is very much going to grow and expand as this campaign continues. When he comes back to the city and delivers whatever information he was able to find, whatever he was able to glean, we'll see where that goes. If you know anything about Duergar, you can pretty much guess where that's probably going to take the party. Let's see. Maceres is going to have a conversation with... I want to seed that Maceres is going to want to talk to Harvey. Basically, Vasir has been on the hunt for Vincent Trench, ironically enough, for this Rakshasa that killed his previous party. And Harvey was very close to Vincent Trench. He was kind of like his pupil, and did not know that he was a Rakshasa. So there was this incident where Vasir got the party together and was like, all right, I found this creature, we're going to kill it. And then they realized it was Vincent Trench, and so Harvey assisted Vincent Trench in getting away, basically. Harvey's still pissed at Vincent Trench for lying to him, but they've kind of seemed to have come to an understanding that the relationship is being mended. It's not perfect now, but it is starting to get back together. But because of that, Vasir is angry at the party, and that cat just... Mentos is very interested in videos. Vasir is super angry at the party for obviously stopping him from killing this creature that murdered his previous party. And then he went to his boss, Maceres, of like, hey, this party of adventurers, like, we gotta do something about this. And Maceres went, sorry, bud. I think we really need to rethink our relationship. So Vasir has left, and he's gonna come back with a vengeance. But now Maceres is in a position where his number 1 fixer, he pissed off. So Maceres is gonna have a conversation with our Aarakocra rogue, and just be like, hey, look, man, I sided with you. I lost my fixer. I need a new guy. You're my guy, right? And I think that'll be interesting because Harvey already does have a relationship with Jeff, the Goblin Rogue, who is a part of this group, and also because, he's an Aarakocra rogue. He kind of fits in perfectly with this idea of these monster children, this race, all these races who are non-human elf or dwarf, who are not, the normal fantasy races, who are kind of the monstrous races, or seen as the other, and kind of joining this group and helping to lift up people who are downtrodden and hurt. But also because he has to deliver 100 souls to the 9 hells, and so I think he might take up this offer because it'll allow him to make good on that debt. Because based on the terms of the contract that Harvey signed, if Harvey dies, he's just gonna get brought back to life until he's able to return those 100 souls to the Nine Hells. And if he tries to break that contract, he is probably going to be taken, dragged to the Nine Hells, and put on the front lines of the Blood War, the war between devils and demons. So he has a lot of reason to want to get this number down. So that is going to be very interesting to see where that goes. And also, I kind of made a comment at the end of the session. I was like, if any of your characters did not want anyone to know where you were, you've ruined that now. Because you were in front of the whole city being touted as heroes of Waterdeep. So if there's anyone out there who might be looking for you, you broadcast to the world who you are, where you can be found. And so that'll definitely be interesting because there are some characters with backstories of people that are looking for them, or that might be very interested to find out where they are. And so that was the end of this session. We're going to be, because Lauren, who plays Quick, is going to be going on vacation. So next week, we're basically doing a month of in-game downtime. It's not going to be a month of it in real time disappearance, but we're going to be doing a month of in-game downtime. So I'm going to do one-on-one sessions with each party member to figure out what they were doing during their downtime, what they want to achieve, and just see where things go. And then that'll be interesting. So next week I'm going to be doing Quick's downtime game. So it'll be fun to see what she decides to do, and maybe we'll find out what Vincent Trench is able to dig up, which will be very interesting for the future of the campaign. All of the characters, the people who've told me what they want to do so far for their downtime, are very interesting and are going to change the shape of the story so far, because all the rest of the campaign's homebrew now. We played through Dragon Heist, and even the version of Dragon Heist that I ran is not by the book. Was very much, I changed it to fit how I will see the story and how I want my version of Waterdeep to run. And also I seeded these side characters and these side NPCs of my own creation so that those storylines could lead us to after we finish Dragon Heist. So there are a lot of places that we can go. They're level 5, and so it'll be interesting to see where things go. But I am very excited. I felt really good about this session. I think from the role play to even the low games, they all were just games with simple DCs. Give me an animal handling check to ride the Griffin. Give me a dexterity check to run the trebuchet. Give me a nature check for the alchemy potion thing. And it was all just super easy checks, but it was just fun because of the role play and because of these characters that they'd grown to know through 15 sessions. So it's been really good. It's been really fun. The Troll Skull Club, man, they are a fun party to run and a fun group to run with. And I'm interested to see how things continue past level 5 and how much, because things are going to get a lot crazier for the Troll Skull Club. And I think they might finally leave Waterdeep, which will be very interesting, because they've kind of been not stuck here, they've wanted to stay in Waterdeep. And so it'll be interesting to see maybe how dangerous the outside world can be. Anyway, that's my campaign diary, so I will talk to you guys next week when I do my one-on-one game with Quick, our Tiefling Sorcerer.